It's yeah. I mean, it's just trying to be different, and that's what I'm about, really. Aaron, you want to be on TV? Come.
If it wasn't clear before, it was pretty obvious now that environments play a big influence to how someone thinks. The last person that Aya wanted to introduce me to was James Rubin. He was the owner of recycling company EnviroWaste and on target to turn over 2.7 million this year. I was interested to hear how someone raised by both parents from a slightly more privileged background founded their own business despite failing 6 other times and dropping in and out of education since the beginning of secondary school.
We grew up in an area where we weren't. It's a very nice area and it's quite a wealthy area, but we're always on the other side. So my mum's friends and who we surrounded ourselves with had money.
Okay.
So I always aspired to be
Like them.
Yeah, that's quite nice. So yeah, as you can see.
What happens in there then?
What happens in here? So these things have reusable value, and stuff will be tested to make sure it works, to find out if there's a problem, why isn't it working, buy parts, make it back, make it reusable. He's looking over.
So your story is really cool. It's really interesting because you've made a lot out of yourself from not doing much education. I mean, you said yourself you got kicked out from school, kicked out from college, kicked out from uni. You was quite a rebel. How important do you feel education is then for people that are sort of coming up in the system?
It depends how you define education. Yeah, it's great if it's going to teach you to read, write, do maths, the basic stuff. Unless you're going to be a doctor, unless you're going to be a lawyer, you don't need higher education, in my personal opinion. I don't know how many, I think it's 80% of people, their careers are not actually linked to their degree. So what they've learned in that lead up to being 21, to the point they come out of uni, it's got nothing to do with what. So is that a waste of time? As I say, unless you're going to be a lawyer or a doctor, I don't think it's worth it.
A lot of people, maybe your parents might, encourage you to follow that road. But if you...
A lot to the way that I was conditioned as a child to my parents.
It sounds like you had a really understanding mum. If she's anything like my mother, it will be a thing like, well, you've done wrong, you shouldn't have done that, but it's not the end of the world, you can still do this.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of people, again, they don't have that.
And my dad was very caring from the heart, so I have both of those qualities. Everyone is in a cycle. Whether you're in a council estate, there's low employment, crime, there's a lot of drug dealing. Some Asian families, they're in a cycle of arranged marriages and conforming to the tradition. You need to be aware of the cycle you're in and understand that it's your decision to be trapped in that cycle. But I could have easily gone down the route of go to school, work hard, get a job, work hard, and then be stuck in that rat race.
I don't feel like you was born with a silver spoon in your mouth by any means necessary. But what I want to know from you is, if you was born in, I don't know, an estate in South London or North London, just your mum maybe, no father, around people that are committing crimes, maybe selling drugs, getting caught up in trouble, police getting randomly stop searched, do you feel you would have had the same mindset or ambition to be where you are today?
It's a lot harder, I agree. But for me, the way I see it is with anything, the harder something is, the better you get. Which is why we find a lot of people that are successful come from the bottom, because they have the resilience. So don't ever think that, and now I'm a victim of my situation, a victim of my condition, and a victim of my circumstances. That's not right. You can do whatever you want, and because it's harder, you'll become better.